Happy Monday night, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. Usually, you'd be seeing our faces at 9:30. Tonight, though, it's 9 o'clock. Check your watches. Yep, it's right, 9 o'clock. We put a post out earlier saying we wanted to start 30 minutes early just because of the Joe C news, honestly. There's a whole lot to talk about. Didn't want to try to cram it in late tonight, so we wanted to give everyone plenty of time to chime in on this, plenty of time to either vent or celebrate, whatever your perspective is. Guess what? We allow you to do that. Welcome, everyone. What's up, Braden, Ron, Dow Poes, Chester, everyone that's on air. Welcome to the Sooner Surge. Also, don't want to forget to mention early on tonight, Jay, that Tyler Ruxer has committed to OU, the second tight end in this 2026 class. Another 3-star, kind of borderline 4-star guy out of Lincoln City, Indiana, 6'4", 220 kid. But obviously, the news, that's going to be way overlooked, that commitment, because the news is about Joe C tonight.
Well, I know the news today was supposed to be College Football 26 got released, but Joe C news kind of broke that. But, Jeremy, you know what's crazy? I see this comment from Sooner fan. When this happened today and Joe C, this announcement came out, multiple people in the Discord, multiple people on comments on our videos, they were all said the same thing. Chester's.
What do you think about that, Jay? What do you think about that?
Chester's going to be thrilled. What?
Because you always say, if the first thing you think about is someone on a live show, that's ridiculous. So I thought it was funny that you bring it up.
I just brought it up because people were saying Chester's going to be happy about this because I think he's on.
Yeah, and let's get to this right here. And Chester is loving it. A lot of people might be loving it. Zac Selmon is a. Let me word this correctly. Zac Selmon is when you say obvious replacement, I'm not going to use the word obvious. I'm going to say a very logical replacement. If you want to say logical, he's the son of Dewey Selmon, right, Jay? Is it Dewey? He's the son of the nephews of the others. He's been around OU his whole life. He spent with Castiglione. He spent somewhere close to 15 years under the guy. However, I'm not going to sit here and say that's who they need to go after.
But don't you? Hey, let me ask you this: don't you think with the whole Selmon thing, as close as he was to Joe C, don't you think they've talked about this before he left to Mississippi State? Say, hey, you know what? If I ever retire, if you go take a job somewhere else, you can always, when I retire, this job will be. They've had to have at least talked about it. Not saying that's who it's going to be or that's going to be the replacement or whatever. But don't you think maybe that's been talked about between them? I don't know. Maybe it hasn't.
Jay, I think a lot of this has been talked about. I think when people in the athletic office got laid off, 3 months ago? I think this is already the wheels were moving on this thing. And speaking of wheels and levers says that let me get to that comment, that this sets the structure so Nagy will have complete control over football. Now, Randall Stevenson, and let's understand this because you saw what Joseph Harris put out today, Jay. Randall Stevenson is going to head up this search. Randall Stevenson has been the advisor directly under Harris and Joe C. And I know what you said today earlier, Jay. Well, Nagy will not have a say in this because
he won't.
Shut up a second. You said Nagy won't have a say in this because why would he want to? They're not going to let him hire his boss. Well, Randall Stevenson is also under those two guys.
Nagy won't have a say. Nagy's not.
What's the difference? I'm saying.
Nagy's not.
Do you know the difference? Because I know the difference. Do you know the difference?
In my opinion,
you know the difference.
In my opinion, Jason's opinion, I don't think Nagy has a say in who they hire as the AD. So,
he absolutely is going to have a say, and I'm going to explain that a little later tonight.
It'll be before 28. It'll be before 28.
No. Let me clarify what Sooner fans saying. Joe C is going to retire as soon as as soon as his replacement is made. That's what's going to happen. However, technically, until the 2026 clear year is out of the way, he's going to be in the department until 2028. That's correct. But he's not going to be the AD. He's not going to be the AD. So Look at it how you want to. Okay, and Jay, Nagy will fill in as an AD until the new Fantastic Four movies come out. Hey, I see Ron. Listen, Jay, you've got to define what I'm saying by a say in it.
Yeah, because you're already backtracking. What's a say in it? What is it?
I'm not backtracking at all.
Absolutely you are.
A guy with his connections is going to absolutely be throwing names out there with all the connections he has and say who he wants.
Throwing names and having a say in the hire is totally different. Which one is it?
It's the same thing. He's going to, in fact,
having a say in the hire means you get a say in who they hire. Am I wrong?
Can I finish?
If I say Jeremy, you have a say in who I'm hiring to be this position. Does that mean you have a say in it? You have an opinion. You can bring it to the table. It's not just.
I'm going to bring a guy's name to you, Jay. Duh. That's exactly. So you do agree with me. I was just wanting to get that out.
No, I don't.
So you don't think Jim Nagy's going to bring any names to the table?
He might mention some guys he knows.
That's having a say in it, buddy.
That is not having a say in that is not having a say in the hire.
Why are we arguing? They're not going to, Jay. Okay, Jay. When your boss, are you gonna mention names of who you want as your boss?
What? That would never happen, probably.
Okay, but you just said that they'll ask Nagy. They'll ask Nagy his. I
didn't say that.
You said he'll give them names.
He might throw some guys' names. He's out.
He's got a say in it, Jay. He's got a say in it. Exactly.
I'm not gonna do this tonight and go over some little thing that you're wanting to
Ben
your agenda to.
I assume the president does as well, but I'll tell you one. It's not an agenda, Jay. One thing that Jim Nagy and others, mainly Randall Stevenson, are going to both say is, do we think this is going to be about an athletic director in charge of athletics, or are they going to bring a finance marketing guy? And I've got the names for you. There's an internal guy. Is it Marcus Bowman?
I think so.
Yeah, he's an internal guy. I prefer not that.
People are saying no connection. People don't want any connection, is what it looks like on the chat.
I agree. Jay, to me, the clear cut, if you said right now, I'm going to lob one to you and you're going to hit this thing out of the park, it's Kirby Hocutt, period.
There's a lot of people throwing her Kirby Hocutt name out there. He's got a connection with Joe C, but not with OU. Germ, I see Jen agrees with you on Nagy.
Jen's always
Tell me why Jim Nagy would have a say in an athletic director hire. This isn't a football job. This is an athletic director. This is not a football job.
You don't understand something, Jason. Football rules the roost, and you know that's true. So just a second. What's Randall Stevenson's role right now at OU? I'll wait.
Germ,
what's he mainly involved with?
He's advising in football, yes.
He's over football pretty much.
Okay.
Why is he leading the search? He's a football guy. Come on, Jay.
Benjamin says OUAD is a big job. Everyone would want that job. That's what I'm saying. And I said that in our video today. This job, they're going to take all kinds of people that want this job. You go hire the best one you can get.
Jim Nagy might be the AD.
What are we talking about?
That's what Johnson says.
No chance. Come on now. He's a GM, guys. He's not an athletic. Athletic director is a lot more than I think what people think it is.
Jay, I agree, but it may not be what it used to be. They may go get a finance marketing guru.
I saw people today on Twitter saying go to the private sector.
The fact that here's my thoughts. The fact that Joe C isn't leading the search. Randall Stevenson is a guy who's had a lot of CEO work, been in professional sports. I mean, to me,
I have no clue what they're going to do.
It's not going to be a typical AD, I don't think.
I don't claim to know. I don't know. Kyle says get a fundraiser. We talked earlier about what is Joe C, and I'll put this out in the chat. Maybe you guys can answer it in your opinion. And we're going to open the phone lines up soon. But biggest accomplishment that Joe C did in his time at OU. And I heard people talking about this. A lot of people say the Bob Stoops hire, but I heard people talking about this on the radio, and they're right. Maybe the biggest thing he did is he got OU out of debt. He got them on the plus side when he got there. And that was a lot of it was because of football, but when he came in, he turned those numbers around. And that helped Oklahoma a lot. So did winning. So did winning a national championship. So did some of the hires he made. But I think I understand what Jen's saying here. I think the need of finance executives, sports marketing, and management experience, and I understand that. And yes, fundraisers a must. OU into the SEC was the biggest move. Stillerman, a lot of people think that. That's right. A lot of people would say that.
And real quick, I've got to answer this. Okay, we got to get on this, Ron.
Oh, there's a big number.
There is a huge number of contingents of fans that have been calling for Joe C to be gone for some time. I personally haven't been on that train. And I'm going to say this right now because Joe C, everyone understands, has set his retirement. It's been announced today. Tomorrow he'll speak with the media at 9 a.m. You also hear from Joseph Harris and some others. So tune in. Find somewhere you can watch that. I'm not sure where it'll be streamed, but 9 a.m. tomorrow speaking to the media. Please listen up when I say this. I get that people wanted him gone, but the people that wanted him gone cannot in the same breath say he didn't do a great job here. He is one of the very top ADs of all time, Jay.
Yeah,
I said it, of all time.
I heard this number today. It's 37 when I heard it on the radio, but that's a lot of people that have been promoted. This might be the comment of the night right here so far. Could Seth Luttrell return to OU as the AD? His experience as both a player and a coach. He won a national championship at Oklahoma. No, not going to happen, Larry.
Hey, I've got to get to hook 'em horns real quick. And yeah, you are looking through burnt orange glasses, but you're saying that the fact they don't have the hire in place points to dysfunction. Actually, to me, it points to the opposite. It's all planned out.
No, you're wrong on that. You're wrong on that, Jeremy.
We're not having to rush through this.
Planned out would be they already have a guy in place. That's planned out.
Maybe they do, Jay, but I'm saying they're not having to rush it. He didn't retire and say, I'm out. Find someone, I'm done. That would be dysfunction, hook 'em horns. If he said, I'm out today, I'm out in July, I'm done. He didn't say that. That's dysfunction. Come on. It's not dysfunctional, man.
Who's on your big board, Colin asked? A lot of people throwing the Florida State guy out there today on Twitter. I haven't made my big board yet.
Exactly, Steeler man. It is planned. Jeez. Now, Ron, if we're going to use the golf analogy, here's what I would say. Yeah, Selmon's the leader in the clubhouse. That's because he went out first. He teed off early. You got a lot of big swingers coming in later, I think, and that is not a disservice to Zac Selmon. I think his resume can speak for itself. The problem with the Zac Selmon hire, and I'm just going to say this, perspective is everything, guys. Zac Selmon may be great at OU, but the perspective is OU, just like Stillerman saying, OU is taking the easy road. That's going to be the perspective. It's actually setting Zac Selmon up, if it was him, to fail.
No, listen. The whole thing about Selmon, which I disagree with, there are people that wanted Selmon when Castiglione was there before Selmon left. But then for some reason, since Selmon went to Mississippi State and they weren't good in football yet, they think it wouldn't be a good hire. It has nothing to do with he's not coaching. He's not a coach. It has nothing to do with it. I think Selmon would be a good guy. But I also want to say this. I see this comment here by Larry. I think this is part of the issue sometimes with OU fan base. And why I would not feel good about Bob Stoops.
Jay, call me right now. I'm going to act like I'm Bob Stoops.
He's never been an AD. He wouldn't. First off, Bob Stoops is coaching in the whatever XFL, whatever that is, perfectly happy on the golf course. He's not going to get back into being AD. Why do people think that would happen?
Jay, if Bob Stoops picked up the phone from Joseph Harris, his first answer would say, no, don't even ask. Don't even ask. He's probably loving life right now.
And I see what Stillerman's saying with this. I understand that too. So let's just say no OU ties. Who's the guy? No OU ties. Who would your guy be?
Well, if you're going strictly AD, it's Kirby Hocutt. The other guy, Jay, the other guy I was going to bring up tonight, and people have mentioned, is Alford. Michael Alford from Florida State. He's the current AD at Florida State.
Yeah, go look at his OU ties. He has OU ties.
He has OU ties. Go look at his past. He's also been in marketing. That was his major, I believe. But I think you got to get finance, things like that.
Big hire.
Huge hire. I got to ask Chief something.
Based off what John said there, it's a big hire. Jay,
let's go and open these phone lines. Let's people in. But before we do, I've got to ask Josie, not Josie. I want to ask Josie a lot of questions. I'm going to ask Chief Keefe a question. You are an OU fan, I assume. You genuinely want BV gone next. You're going to sit here on July 7th and say, the next thing I want is for BV to be gone. I question your fandom. Yeah, I said it, Chief. I question your fandom. I don't want BV to be gone. If he's gone, it means they had a horrible year.
Yeah, they need BV to have a good year.
And Jedi, I disagree with this, Jay. I know you. I think you agree. I think you agree with it.
I don't disagree.
I think you agree with it.
I heard Dari talking a little bit about this today on the airwaves.
I'm not.
And I saw Dalpo's question earlier. Does this affect this football season? No, this won't have any effect on this year. Maybe it will, in the fact that maybe they go out on a high note for Joe C, winning a championship. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, and I just don't think you have to get an SEC guy. You need a finance guy. Ron, is there an understudy? Ron H? Yeah, I think Marcus Bowman is already in the athletic office, would be the understudy. That's a sleeper. I don't think they should do it, personally. Ron Brown.
Jay, please.
Ron Brown, real quick. I did say playoffs are bust. Do I want OU to do I want BV to be gone? No, I want OU to be in the playoffs. Okay, sorry.
What's up,
you
big
should too, if you're an OU fan.
Hope you're doing good.
If you're an OU fan, you should not root for BV to lose. Period. You say phone lines are open?
Phone lines are open. I forgot what I was going to say because every time I opened my mouth, something came out of yours. So I forgot what I was going to say. So maybe it'll come to me in a minute. But there's a fan stop shirt there, Jeremy. I guess you threw that up there, didn't you? There it is.
Yeah, I'll talk about it, Jay. I thought when I put it up there, since we're getting ready to open the phone lines, but I'll go ahead and give a shout out to it. I'm actually wearing my March Shirt of the Month Club, but if you sign up by July 20th, you'll get that one right there that's on your screen. It's the August Shirt of the Month Club. Pick the package that suits you best. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. You get 10% off your first 3 months. I got mine right here. This is the March. It's a different design every month. You won't be disappointed. Phone lines are open. Love to talk to you tonight. Call in. Let's have fun.
Yeah, there we go. I got it set up for callers, ready to go. Whoever wants to call in and chat. Maybe at the end of this, we'll take some people's. You can put in the chat right now who you think the next AD at Oklahoma will be, and how soon do you think this will happen? What percentage, in your opinion, Jerm, do you think they already know? What would you put that percentage at?
As far as
do you think they know? Yeah, do you think they know yet?
No. I think they know names they're going to go after. They do not know who they're going to hire.
So you're saying that they have no clue right now?
They wouldn't even be mentioning Randall Stevenson as the head of the search.
No, I know. That's what I'm asking. But
Ron says, here's his take. Watch for someone who may have worked with Nagy in the past in the NFL. Yeah, I agree, Ron. But Jay says Nagy won't have any kind of say in this deal. Wrong. He will.
Hey, Jerm, people on this show, including me, are entitled to their opinions. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Agree.
Okay. It's different than yours. It's still okay, though. It's still okay, even though it's different than yours.
I didn't say it wasn't okay.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Josie, responsible to. There's a lot of people. We've been doing this live for what, a year now? How long have we been doing these lives? A lot of people haven't been in love with Josie, and then you got a lot of the people that are. So it's both spectrums. I heard they're hiring the AD from West Virginia.
That is Ren Baker, and he has OSU ties. I'm not a fan.
People saying Kel Gundy, Germ. Good old Kel back in the mix.
Back in the chat.
Back in the chat again. Geez. It's only 9:20. We started early tonight. Feels weird. We probably don't have some of our regulars on here yet.
They're probably shocked when they get on here and see we've already gone for 30 minutes. No, they did not get a 5-star tight end commit, although they did get a tight end commit, Tyler Ruxer out of Lincoln City, Indiana. Second commit of the class at the tight end position. You had Ryder Mix. Tyler Ruxer, he's 6'4", 220, played outside mostly, not an elite blocker, elite pass catcher. I think he'll get to 235 playing weight. I think he'll move to mid 4-star, but he's between 3 and 4 right now, depending on the rank.
Number 9 tight end in the class, and I saw something today. He said what really did it for him was, speaking of Jim Nagy, when Jim Nagy said he was all in on Ruxer. He goes, when you have a guy that knows that talent that well and he's all in on me, it made me feel really good. So,
wait, am I thinking about someone else? Rick Baker, I thought he worked with Eddie Sutton in OSU.
Not sure, Jerm.
Am I wrong on that? Let me do a little research.
You possibly are, Jerm. Top player from the state of Indiana. Soonerthron says the defense is so much better. Best D-line in SC. If Riley and Stoops coach in the SEC last 10 years, we have last 10 years, lot 8. I don't know what you're saying. I think I'm reading that wrong. Soonerthron. We got a caller on the line. Let me get the first caller of the night. Make sure y'all call in. John, you are on the line. What's up, John? What's on your mind?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. How you doing tonight?
Well, let me say this real quick. This is a really big deal because of the fact that if you get to a point to where this new AD comes in, he's going to have to make 2 big hires possibly, and that could be the basketball coach and the football coach. If you whiff on that, you could be fired within 4 years, guys, as the new AD.
Yeah, it's a very big hire, and it's something that OU hasn't had to do in 28 years. And when Castiglione came in early on, he had to make a big hire, and it changed the trajectory of the program. And you're right. This is a massive hire for Oklahoma, whoever they choose.
Right. I'll be honest with you. There's really only 3 foundational things right now as far as coaches, and that's the football coach, the men's basketball coach, and I guess you could say the women's basketball coach, but Patty Gasso. Those are the 3 foundational coaches. And as a new AD, you would like to come in and kind of take it easy and not have to make big decisions on hires until after you've been in the seat for about 4 or 5 or 6 years. You don't want to come in and have to make new decisions on coaches on your first 1 or 2 years, because if Brent doesn't get this turned around, he could be fired. If Porter doesn't get this turned around, he could be fired. And so the next thing you know, now you're new on the job and you're making the 2 biggest decisions in your whole life for your career. Because if you get this wrong, won't nobody hire you after you get fired for this.
That's an awesome.
Hey, I'll let y'all talk about it, guys. I'll leave you alone. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John. Hey, that's a great point. It brings up something that we haven't talked about. I'm so glad that John called in and brought this up. It's a great point. A lot of times when you bring guys in as new hires in a role like this, upper level, they may not either A, like who's there now as a coach, or B, have someone in mind they'd rather have as the coach. You got to take that in consideration. I mean, that's a real thing. Josie has connections with BV, Porter Moser. He hired him. The new guy will not. So it might be like somebody said earlier, like, if the guy's not happy with Porter Moser after year 1 of being there, he might be like, I'm going to go get somebody I know and I trust. I mean, I don't know. It's
look, I agree with the fact that an AD is not coming in and firing BV before the seat. Like, if BV has a bad year, exactly, I'm nuts.
That's what John was saying, was if they had a bad year. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, if him and Porter have a bad year, the AD absolutely has to make a decision. And yes, those hires will be massive for him, but that's also why you take the job at OU. And someone said, why would Kirby Hocutt leave Texas Tech? I'll tell you why. For OU.
To be
Come
in the
on,
SEC,
guys.
yeah, I mean,
And he's proven that he knows how to do NIL. They're getting money there. Like, he's done a lot, Jay. That would be a very interesting hire. He's been on the college football playoff committee.
Yeah, I mean, Kirby Hokut's a big name. Dow Post. I saw you put this in there earlier. I forgot to talk about it. He talked about $450,000 for an AD. Is that too much money? No, it's not. In fact, might not be enough. That's just my opinion. And I see you say, so basically $500,000 a year to guess at who may be a good coach. What a job. There is so much more to being an AD than hiring coaches. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. But they do a lot, not just hiring coaches. There's a lot. That's a huge part of it. But, I mean, to run a whole university athletic department, $450K, I think that's worth it. I mean, I think I just do. I think there's a lot to that role. And maybe it was a lot on Joe C. Maybe he's like, you know what? I'm 67. Maybe I don't want to do this anymore. The way things are changing, I don't know. Nobody knows. We'll hear tomorrow at 9 o'clock when he addresses the media. They have a press conference. We'll see. We'll hear.
Ron says Stevenson won't let the new AD. I can't see it now, Jay. You'll have to show it. Yeah. Won't let the new AD fire. Now, he may play. Yeah, I think Randall Stevenson's playing a big role. And Jen, I'm not sure. Who's another name then that's in this, Jay, that had a tie to that of OSU and Eddie Sutton? I thought it was Ren Baker, but it's not. Ren Baker was at Rogers State. I do know that, I believe. Maybe he's the head basketball coach at Rogers State, and that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. But I think they got to go bigger than Ren Baker. OU does not need to pull someone out of West Virginia as their new AD. They need to go big, go bigger than that. Tech getting commits from 2027, that most won't play it down using this desk. Yeah, I think there's some of that for sure. Let's talk about the Randall Stevenson stuff, because Joseph Harris could have said, look, Joe C and I are going to make this next hire. We're going to hire his replacement. And no one would have batted an eye to that. No one would have said, well, that's kind of risky. I don't think anyone would have been saying that's a risk at all. If Joseph Harris would have said, Joe C and I are going to hire someone. But instead, to go Randall Stevenson, CEO of AT&T, had his hand in a lot of professional teams, organizations, really strong with money and finances. That's who is leading this search. Now, I just think you're all kidding yourself if you don't think one of the conversations that's already been had is between Randall Stevenson and Jim Nagy behind closed doors. I think you're kidding yourself.
Cool. I mean, yeah, maybe so, Jerm. Definitely could have happened. Not saying it didn't.
That would be having a say in it.
No, it wouldn't. That'd be given. That's not having a say. I'm not going to go down this again.
Please don't.
Randall Stevenson needs to clean house on sports that generate income. Randall needs to ensure OU football is a priority. OU football it is top priority. It's the money-making machine. Football is the money-making machine of any university. Just is. So that needs to be primary focus for sure. A lot of things with football, has to be a focus. NIL, I mean, you can go down the list. There's a lot of things that have to be your primary focus. Go get
Ward Manuel.
That's what Chief says.
Larry, I don't think Stevenson will choose himself. Am I right that he's not even taking a salary right now at OU?
As far as I know, he wasn't.
That was what was different earlier. I was trying to ask you, Jay, and you wouldn't answer the question.
Well, I didn't understand the question. Sorry. Phone lines are Michigan AD is who he's talking about. Phone lines are open. Call in. Give us your thoughts. Are you shocked by this? Are you surprised? Are you did you think it was going to happen? Are you sad? Are you happy? Where are you feeling tonight on July 7th?
I'll tell you another thing that's got to be brought up, Jay.
Yeah.
And it's this. The fact that Joe C is going to be athletic director emeritus.
Yeah.
People need to think about this. This can be a very touchy thing? In other words, does it force their hand to make a safe hire? Someone who can get along with Joe C, since he's still going to have his eyes on the organization, and he's over the shoulder, looking over their shoulder. That's something interesting. Texas Nightmare. Here's the link. I'm pretty sure it's Bevo. It's Bevo's bodyguard's new. That's what I'm guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, if that was the case, he wouldn't call in. So I mean, we'll find out.
No, that's why he's saying, "Can I call in?"
John says, "Do you think they look at someone outside the program like a business person?" They could very well. I don't know where they go though, John.
I think that's what they need to do, Jay.
Who are the most recent hires in college universities as athletic directors? Who's the big ones? You had Trev Alberts go to Texas A&M recently. Now, he had already been an athletic director before he went to A&M, but you have him.
Donnie Duncan. Wasn't Donnie Duncan before Castiglione?
Golly, Donnie Duncan.
Donnie Duncan was AD at OU.
Is that the one? Has Castiglione been there? I guess maybe 28 years.
Castiglione came in July of 1998.
Yeah, Donnie Duncan was in the 90s, I thought. So I would guess so, Jerm. Mess is not shocked. Joe C will become a professor. Yeah, not going to happen.
You saw the phone link. So, yeah, Texas Nightmare, call in. Love to talk to you. You saw the phone link. Robert, right now, Robert, in the chat, put where you heard that. Put where you heard it. I'd love to hear where you heard it.
Owens was 80, 96. There was a little time frame there. Maybe you should hire outside OU so that if house cleaning is on, there are no loyalties.
I agree.
There are loyalties that sway it. I mean, I understand that point of
forgot about Owens and Donnie after Donnie.
What's up, KB? What's up? Hey, do you think – I mean, a lot of people said last year that Joe C was the guy that wanted Seth Luttrell, whether or not that's true or not. But Robert said it was on another podcast, Jeremy.
Yeah, I was asking which one. I'm curious where they heard that at. That's all I was saying. Yeah,
I kind of think they made a decision too. I kind of think they have. I know you don't, Jeremy.
That is asinine.
Oh, don't lose it. Don't lose your mind here.
So they're lying to everyone right now. They're lying.
Why would they be lying?
Joseph Harris, the president of the entire university, said Randall Stevenson will lead the search.
And maybe lead the search that they've done already.
Oh, that means it already would have been done, Jay. I don't think that's happening. I may be wrong, Jay. I may be wrong. I just don't think that they're going to say Randall Stevenson's going to lead the search, and then Ren Baker's already going to be there.
Bigger? Is this a bigger hire than your last football coach hire? BV? Is this a bigger hire than after Lincoln left?
I mean, it's the AD, so it is a massive hire, yeah. And, Joe, I think for the fact that Selmon – I mean, I don't think there'd be any issue with Selmon working with Joe C behind his back. There will be some that would not want that.
Well, let me ask you this. If Joe C is staying on, doesn't that go to tell you that the chance of them hiring an OU guy are pretty high?
That's what I was saying. It could be, but he also knows a lot of people.
Like, I'm going to throw this name around. I mentioned earlier, Trev Alberts went to A&M, right? AD. What if they hired him? Would Joe C stick around for that? See, I don't.
It also depends on if they're going to bring.
That's why I think they already know.
It also depends on if they don't. I don't think they know yet. If they do, then I just hate being lied to. It's annoying.
Lied to?
To say that they're going to do a search and Randall Stevenson's going to lead it up.
Nobody needs to tell you what they're doing. Sorry, nobody.
They already did.
Nobody needs to tell you every little move.
The Bears came out, put a
every
statement
move I make to you. I mean, remember that song? I mean,
you're oblivious, dude. You are absolutely oblivious. There was a letter today, a post today from the president. And you're right, Daniel. If Joseph Harris called Bob Stoops right now, he'd say, yeah, this is Joseph Harris. What's up, Bob? No. The answer is no. He's getting to coach when he wants in the league that he's in. He gets to play golf when he wants. Like, go watch games.
Hey, I'm kind of with what Chester said. I think Selmon's about 2-1 odds.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think that, I just think that kind of what Chester, that looks like what OU would do.
The problem with hiring a Zac Selmon, who, by the way, I have nothing against Zac Selmon, son of Dewey Selmon, Crimson born, Crimson bred, like all around the school. He's been there his whole life. Worked under Castiglione for like 15 years. However, you're setting Zac Selmon up for failure.
Okay, but Jerm, let's play a game here.
Maybe not.
Play a game here. You be Zac Selmon, I'll be Joe C. Okay. 2 years ago, you come to me and you say, hey, I think I'm going to take this job at Mississippi State, right? Hey, don't you think Joe C. might say, I'm probably going to be retiring less than 5 years from now. This position, if you still want to come back. Don't you think they've had that conversation?
Yes, but I also think that college football is not even close to what it was when Zac Selmon left here. They may say, look, we don't need an athletic director type of guy. They may go a different direction.
I understand.
And here's what I'm saying. If Joe C. would have been in charge of making this hire, or maybe even Harris and Joe C. together, I think the easy answer was Zac Selmon. The fact that Randall Stevenson is leading the search leads me to believe that it's not going to be someone just like AD. Because Randall Stevenson that's not his background as athletic directors. That was Joe C's background.
Well, and I see.
And the other thing is, why would Joe C need to stay on staff for 3 years as AD emeritus?
For who?
If they hire AD, you don't need Joe C there. If you hire a finance guy or marketing guy or someone from corporate world, you need someone like Joe C to train him in the athletic stuff.
It's because Joe C probably still wants to hang around for a few more years. It's not that he's going to just be doing anything. Come on now.
I think he could be there for a lot of support.
Hey, listen, I see these three names. I think that's probably the three names right now. If I had to guess, those three. Now, I would love Hokut. I think out of those three, I like Selmon too, though. I think the Selmon to Mississippi State has ruined people on Selmon. I think before that, I know for a fact, I've talked to so many OU fans 3-4 years ago. It was like, oh my gosh, I would love to have Selmon replace Joe C.
I agree. A lot of people did.
They left to go to Mississippi State, and it's just tainted him. People, because they're not winning. They're never. Listen, anybody that thinks Mississippi State's ever going to win in football, you're crazy. They're not.
It's kind of unfair. I agree. It's unfair with some of the false some of the myths about Zac Selmon. He's done a good job. And Ron H. asked, how long did he work with Joe C? I thought it was close to 15 of the 28 years. About half the time.
10 years is what Shunathan put.
And I agree with I'm nuts.
You are nuts, by the way.
Well, I agree with this, that throw out a wide net. Go for a big fish. Go into the deep waters. Tunnel vision is not good when hiring. Tunnel vision usually means you. And Jay, I would say this. If you're asking yourself, well, I'm concerned about, what people might think, then don't do it. You just can't do it at that point.
Well, and there's a lot of people. The OU connection thing has just ruined a lot of OU fans. And it's not always a bad thing to get a guy with connections, but it just comes down to one thing. They haven't won in football. People want them to win in football. That changes everything. We've talked about it before. Go freaking win in football. That's what needs to happen.
What about Michael Alford at Florida State? He's got to know your connection too, though. So I'm going to say a name, and I'm just going to say I want to hear your personal opinion. Would you be in favor of it? Michael Alford.
Don't know enough about him.
Zac Selmon.
I need to know the choices.
Would you be okay with Zac Selmon?
I'm at the point where
I wasn't finished.
Listen, okay, but I'm at the point where I kind of want them to go kind of like they did with Jim Nagy. Go wild that I wouldn't expect.
I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what they're going to do.
Fresh and innovative. That's a great way to put it.
And to me, Ren Baker's not that. To me, Marcus Bowman is not that. And Daniel,
I think that would be a great right there. What Daniel put.
I was clicking it, Jay. At the
So
same
was
time. I think the fact that Stevenson, and I'll say it, Jay, even though it's this is not the viewpoint of all the Surge members or Surge people like Jason, but this is my viewpoint. I think Randall Stevenson is leading the search, and I think Jim Nagy's in his ear.
Well,
and Jim Nagy knows a whole lot of executive level guys from the NFL.
I understand that. And if you look at OU and what they've done in their front office, I'm going to call it a front office. They are becoming more like an NFL team in their front office part. Now, maybe they're thinking as a university athletic department, we need to go more of like a front office NFL. So maybe they are looking to a pro sport, somebody that's been running at something like that. Who knows?
I think they do, Jay. And I think with Stevenson leading it, that's probably what they're going to go at. Now, 918 says out of the 3 that he's heard, I'm assuming the 3 he's heard has been Selmon, maybe Ren Baker, and Michael Alford. Now, here's the reason I think you're saying this, 918. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're talking about because of his marketing background. Is that why?
He's raised a lot of money. Yeah, he's raised a lot of money, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a background in marketing. I agree with that. Now, you can look at him, though. How long has he been at Florida State, Jay?
Not
a few
sure.
years?
Not sure.
They haven't been killing it in football.
Dalpo says, outside of hiring coaches, give me top 3 things an athletic director will do to make a difference in football program.
Raise money.
That's one thing.
That's number 1, Jay.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I think one of the things you can do as an athletic director is you got to let your people do what they do best. And that means putting people in the best spot to win and keeping your hands off it. But at the same time, like Max says, fundraising. You give them everything they need to be successful. That's what AD does.
I've got another thing that I'm going to say. And I think that Joe C, and I love Joe C. I think he was great. He was unbelievable in his 28 years. Early Joe C did this more often, and I think this is a job of an AD. You've got to be out in front of people in media and really celebrating and promoting your university. Early on, Joe C was always doing that, and he still did late, but I don't think as much because he kind of took a back step to some things.
Hey, look what now, Sooner Cowboys. One guy about the Philadelphia Eagles, Jake Rosenberg. I mean, OU is there. I mean, he's kind of with OU a little bit anyway, but not to be an AD. I'm just saying, they are going more to the professional side of things in some of the recent.
Platone says that fundraising is a big deal. That's fine. Go get someone like that. But what about elite finance guys? How are they going to know how to hire coaches? And that's why I think it's got to be the right mix. A CEO, guys, someone who's been a CEO. I mean, Randall Stevenson was at AT&T, but someone who's been a CEO could. I mean, as a CEO, you got to make very difficult decisions, hiring and firing and finance. So,
hey, Chief, thanks.
He's all talk, Chief. Period.
No, hey, if I could show you on my phone right now what I've ordered, then you would. I'm not going to do it. Maybe I should make a graphic to show you. It'll be
Where'd
here.
Where'd you order it from, Jay? Where'd you order it from?
Amazon.
Okay, I want the text message sent to me right now.
I'll send it to you.
Get right now. Send it to me. I guarantee you there isn't one. But hey, Chief. With that being said, thanks so much for the $9.99 super. We appreciate it. You donating to our channel. Been a big part of our channel. Thanks so much. Chuck says, be careful what you ask for. You can't make or get a Joe C overnight. Uncharted. Oh, I agree, Chuck. Joe C is unmatched in the world of ADs and what he did at OU. It has to be celebrated. And I hope that's what people do. I hope that people aren't just like, oh, I'm glad he's gone. Well, you can say that, whatever, but you got to at least celebrate what he's done. Joe C has to be stressed, Mez says. Watching Randall Stevenson restructure his business. More hard decisions will be made. Joe C doesn't want to make them. I disagree a little bit, Mez, but I also agree with you some. I think it's probably difficult. It's probably difficult to watch your baby being led by someone else now, and partly in restructuring. That's probably difficult, but I'm not sure that he doesn't want to make the decision. I think he's at a time where he's bowing out for a little bit.
Hey, I texted you. Okay. Hey, when people talk about NFL guys, because we haven't talked about names, when people say, go get somebody professional, go get somebody out of the NFL, go get somebody in professional sports, are you talking like a GM from an NFL team to come be an AD? I mean, what are you saying?
I'm talking about a CEO of an organization or some general manager. Yeah, go to OU to be the AD. And they might have to change. Guys, they have how many people? Marcus Bowman, Randall Stevenson, Jim Nagy. There's a couple others that slip in my head. I can't think of it. That slip in my mind. But they could reorganize some of the job responsibilities, rearrange them.
Did you see my text?
Yes, and Chief T-Bird, I will vouch for Jay. He's got a couple things arriving Wednesday at his house.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, listen, Chris, this makes it no difference on BV. He's at the University of Oklahoma coaching the football program. He knows what the expectations are. This doesn't matter.
Anyone who wants to say, well, oh, my goodness, BV's in the hot seat now, guess what? He's been on the hot seat. It was his own fault. It had nothing to do with the AD.
Now, this name would be awesome. Yeah. Yeah. You know who else? You're talking about NFL GMs that would be great would be the 49ers guy. Used to play at the Bucs. Can't remember his name.
And, yeah, I appreciate this not being to the Twins. But, yeah, so I was talking to Kevin with FanStop today. 67 years old. I mean, he's getting up there. It's a lot of on-the-go stuff. You got to be moving. I mean, all those things. Yeah, and hey, Dalpois, that turnip seed. I saw someone mention him today in a text. He did what he was here to do, Jay, and then he left, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's right, Tone Loke. That's why I don't think any of them would do it. It's a big pay cut.
No, it's not going to. It couldn't be a GM in the NFL. It could be an executive office person, though.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going to go, guys. I'm intrigued. I am to see how soon this happens. Do they already have it figured out? Do they not? Where are they going to go? What direction are they going to go? I don't know, man. I really don't. Let me get to trivia tonight.
Yeah, and while you're at it, I won't even respond though, Jay. I'm not going to do it tonight. Texas Nightmare. I already know who he is. It's hilarious. It's so bad that he's got to get on and change his name and then still act like
you can't let it go. You can't. You are
hilarious. Call in.
I've never seen you more obsessed by somebody.
I already know who it is.
You are obsessed. You must wake up in the middle of the night and think
about to call it out, Jay.
You must think about.
I call it out. I don't allow things like you do. You're a pushover, dude. Period.
You wake up in the middle of the night and you're like Bevo or Texas Nightmare. I don't care.
Jay,
I don't care. You do because you bring it up every single night. So
I care for our viewers. Absolutely, Jay. I care for our viewers.
Our viewers can handle themselves, I think. Hey, trivia tonight. We're going to stick with Joe C. trivia. You ready? A little bit of Joe C. trivia. I want to know Joe Castiglione Jr. uniform number at Oklahoma. He played at Oklahoma, fullback for a couple years, was injured. But tell me his uniform number.
Joe Russell says it's going to be a splash higher. They have it figured out. Joe C.
Joe C's been good at that kind of stuff, so you would think they would. Not 69, Chester. You got one number right, though, not 42. You got one of the numbers right, Chester. It's a 2 number. There it is right there, Miguel. 29.
Closely followed by Platoon 20.
Look at this. Chief's been a member for 18 months.
One of the OGs, man.
Whoever they get better be great, not just good at raising money. That's the key to our future. We have to find a way to keep up.
And you're right, Mac. Turnip Seed came in for the new facility, did what he wanted to do, but it didn't move on any further.
What name comes to mind?
He didn't move on any further.
What names come to mind in the college spectrum of fundraisers? What names come to your mind?
I can't even give you any, Jay. I think Kirby Hocutt does.
Is there any chance they hire somebody that's never been an AD?
Yes. Yeah.
How high a percentage? From college, I'm saying.
Oh, from college? No. Here's what I'll say, Jay. If they hire someone from college, it will be an AD. If they hire someone from college, it's going to already be an AD. If they don't, it's not going to. They're going to go elsewhere. I think they go elsewhere. I think they're going outside of college football. I think they're going to go elsewhere. And no, I don't. That's just me personally.
Yeah, no politics. I see.
I'm not going to say that they. And I don't really want to. Look, I can't think of any, so that's why I would say no.
You go hire the best person possible.
We want the best person, whoever it is, but I just can't think of many that are in that position really right now.
Yeah, got a big tight end today. Tyler
Ruxer, 2 good tight ends.
Tyler Ruxer says he also chose you because excited to be developed by Joe John Finley.
Yeah, that guy was interesting.
Must have a good relationship with Joe John. Ross Borg. People are saying Ross Borg. I don't know, guys. What do you think we hear tomorrow at the press conference, Jeremy? Anything that just any good? I think
Joe C's going to open, and Joe C's great giving a presser. He's going to be so, I think, informative, ready, prepared, confident. I think he's going to talk about why he's hanging it up. That's going to be there. I think he's going to talk about the direction moving forward. I think he's going to talk about where this program was when he took over in July of 1998 and where it is now. And anyone who wants to argue and say he didn't do a good job, I don't want to hear you. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, you can say it was time for him to move on. I get that. But do not say he didn't do a good job, because that's outlandish take.
I don't understand the whole NFL Andy Reid. What does Andy Reid know about?
Yeah, I don't understand the
being an AD.
I don't want a football coach. I want an elite fundraiser and a guy who ain't scared to make decisions. Period. Facts. End of story.
If Andy Reid comes to OU, it needs to be the head coach.
I want the Chuck Norris of fundraiser, and I want the Chuck Norris of making decisions. Okay.
You want Sam Presti, don't you?
Woody?
No, Jim Nagy's more of the Sam Presti role. GM.
Woody J? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So. Yeah, odd, very odd. That's like saying somebody from a whole different profession. Now, Dean Blevins is available, though.
Yeah, he recently retired. I wonder if that was in the works, Jay.
Could be.
Please.
I mean, while we're at it, Toby Rowland, right?
Yeah, I want Chuck Norris. I agree, Joe Russell.
Give me wrong answers only. Next AD.
Wrong answers only?
Yeah. There's one, Garth Brooks.
I'm going to give you a lot of names, but.
Barry, what about King? Bring him back.
Here's one thing, Jay. Yeah, there's
down these wrong answers only.
Hey, people do need to realize that they're in the SEC now. That's done with. And you probably asked Joe C, and he says, you know what? This is kind of my master plan. Get OU in the SEC and then bow out for a few years. But let's not diminish I keep saying pastor. The AD emeritus, because I've always heard the term pastor emeritus. But
you're thinking soul mission.
Do what?
You're thinking soul mission.
No, I'm not.
You said
AD Emeritus, don't diminish that because that's going to be a big deal. He's still going to have his hand there, his footprint. He's going to be looking over the shoulder.
There's
Trajan Bridges.
There's some funny names in there. Wonder Woman. Dusty. Ooh.
Oh, goodness. Again, I'll say it.
Hey, Gabe.
I just want someone who can raise money.
Like Gabe.
I want someone who can make tough decisions. That is my two main. If I said, look, here's what we want. Those are the two things I want. Kish of death, Tim Kish.
Hey, you know who Gabe is related to?
What would your two be, Jay? What would your two be?
What?
My two main requirements. Raise money. Make tough decisions. Stick your neck out there.
I'm with you. I'm innovative.
Okay, that's the third one. Yeah.
Chuck says Joe C. Filthy rich, getting out a good time. He doesn't need it. Bingo. I think yes, that's exactly right. He is 67. He's done this for 28 years. He's ready to enjoy life.
So he's done it for about 50 years.
Not be stressed out. I agree with you, Chuck. Hey, Germ, Gabe Eichert.
Please, Jay. Hey.
What?
Jay, I'm going to ask the chat here because I know we're getting close to an hour, but in the chat, please, guys, I want you to put 3 adjectives. 3 adjectives that you would use of what you want in the next AD. So I said the ability to fundraise. So, Jay, you said innovative. I like that word, innovative. When it comes to tough decisions, there should be no loyalties. Agree, and that's why I want someone who can do that.
Maybe we should start a petition. Chester for AD.
I'm surprised Chester hasn't called in tonight. He should be amped up. Maybe he's speechless.
He's probably so pumped, dude. He's probably
speechless right now.
He's celebrating, man. He's partying hardy.
I said adjective, Chuck. Adjective.
Adjunct is a professor term, right? An adjunct professor?
Yes. Hey, we're waiting. Call in right now. You won't.
Smart, relentless, hungry. I got a name for you. Wrong answer. Hey, I got a great name. Here's
fundraisers, innovative, aggressive.
You know who I think would be an absolute great hire for an AD? You're going to laugh your head off. You ready for this one? You ready for this?
Yeah.
First name, Pat.
Pat Jones?
No.
Who?
Pat McAfee.
Oh, please. Cutthroat, determined, demanding. Presty-like. Hey, I did put the phone link in there because Texas Nightmare said he wanted to call in, so there's the phone link. By the way, again, check out FanStop, thefanstop.com. If you sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club by July 20th, you got a couple weeks, you'll get you'll guarantee yourself the August Shirt of the Month. You can see it's a football design. Football's right around the corner. They do a great job at the FanStop at different designs. You'll never get a shirt that has been duplicated. It's all unique, different design each and every month, and you can choose the package you want. You want more short sleeve shirts? You want a package that has some long sleeve apparel or a couple hoodies? They have it for you, thefanstop.com. Also, use code SURGE, 10% off your first 3 months. This is the March Shirt of the Month. Phone line's open there. I'll sit here and wait because he said he was going to call in, so I think we're all excited to hear it. I can't wait. This should be fun.
What are we waiting on?
Oh, Texas Nightmare going to call in.
Come on, Jerm.
I didn't say it. Why are you saying, come on, Jerm?
Because it's not going to happen, man. I don't know why you're dreaming. You're dreaming. And you'll go to bed at night and you'll dream about it again tomorrow. It's just not going to happen.
Corporate dollar banker. It's a few adjectives. SEC tough. And OU football heavy.
I think the majority of people on here, based off the comments, want somebody that's business more CEO than they do football or any.
I agree, Jay. I think that if you put a true serum in OU football fans, they would be all for someone that's not really been involved in athletics much, as far as, hiring coaches or things like that. They're more about money.
I'm glad 918 brought this up. And this is something I mentioned earlier. 4 years ago, I bet 80 to 90% of the people wanted Selmon to be the guy to replace Joe C. Now, all of a sudden, they don't. I don't understand it. I think Zac Selmon is really good. I just think because he's an OU guy, people don't want OU ties. I think that's what this comes down to.
And Jay, I said this.
Mississippi State and he hasn't won there, and they're thinking, "Oh my gosh, he can't win there." He's not a coach, guys. He's an athletic director.
And it's not just that.
I think it's all because of the OU ties.
Chester says 5 years ago, Selmon, yes. NIL era, no. And that's, to me, the biggest thing. It's the NIL era. It's different. And guys, Selmon may say this is a dream job, but you also got to be very careful. It's like walking on eggshells. You're going back to a university where the perspective from the fans is they don't want someone who's been here before. They want something new and fresh. That's not maybe a place you want to roll into.
But Jerem, I understand the fundraising thing, but it's also a little crazy is this. The biggest fundraiser out there?
Winning.
Win.
Yeah, I just said it. I said the answer, Jay.
Yeah, win. If whoever the AD is, if you're winning in football, people are going to donate.
Yeah, it matters. Winning matters, Jay.
Now, Chester wants.
No, I'm not for bringing some in here who's going to do it the wrong way, and OU will not go down that route. So,
and I think this is the number one reason why people don't want Selmon is what Chris says here. They want somebody with not enough times.
Now look at this. Look at this with 918.
Daniel.
No,
well, let me read Daniel.
918 said, and this is a great point. Selmon is very young. He's young enough to connect with the younger fans. I mean, have you heard him speak? He's phenomenal. He is phenomenal.
Why are people so against him right now?
Listen, and his name also instantly generates credibility with the older donors. It's all good. Those are all good things. But then there's that outlier. What?
I think it's a done deal.
You think it's Selmon?
I said that earlier. I think it's 2-1. It's going to be Selmon. I think this is something
I don't think it is. But
I think Josie talked about it a while ago with him.
And here's why I don't think it is. Daniel says they need to find a cutthroat, no holds barred AD. He sees the changing landscape and adapts accordingly. And listen, my only thing I want to pose to you right now, Jason, and I want you to answer this. If it's such a done deal, Chief T-Bird, Jay, whoever else, 918, whoever's saying it, if it's such a done deal, why is Randall Stevenson leading a search? Answer the question.
Nobody knows what's going on the church.
Why is Joseph Harris going to put out today on a post that
because people like you? Because people like you?
There's a press conference tomorrow, Jay. He could have waited till tomorrow to say it.
Jeremy, I could put out there that I'm having a guy lead a search. That doesn't mean I already don't know who I'm hiring.
You are putting yourself in a very difficult situation if you say Randall Stevenson's leading a search. And
you care more about the way it's worked. You always do this. Why did they tell me that they did this? That's what you always do.
I don't speculate, Jay. I go by what was said.
Yeah, according to Jeremy, he's number one reason. He's number one guy behind.
Can you, Great God, you just joined now. You haven't been here the whole day, the whole conversation. So obviously you didn't hear what I said. And Great God, you're kidding yourself if you don't think Jim Nagy is going to throw a name or two in there.
Zero say in the hire. You're
wrong, Jay. It's your opinion, dude. It's your opinion. You don't even know what you're talking about.
It is my opinion.
If Jim Nagy doesn't have a say in the hire, then it is very bad on OU's part. Why would I not want a guy who's been around 32 NFL teams, had his name all over the Senior Bowl, probably knows more athletic directors than words in the English dictionary that you know, Jay? Okay? He knows more ADs right now than words in the English dictionary that you know. Why would you not want him helping you out?
At the Bob Bank car,
he names. He can give you 100 ADs, Jay.
Wheels.
I'm not counting to 100.
Wheel, mirror, elliptical, cup,
Chief
cactus.
says
do you want me to keep going? Do you want me to keep going? I can name more than 30. Do you want me to keep going?
Well, he can name 100 ADs.
Okay. Okay.
And I agree, Chuck. I know I'm right on this one. Chief says he's going to donate $100 if it's not Selmon. Randall Stevenson got his master's degree from OU. Who's close to Stevenson?
I wonder. A guy by the name of Zac Selmon.
Okay. Is he, Jay?
What percent? Hey, where are you?
Zac Selmon's connection with Randall Stevenson. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Hey, what percentage?
No, you claim to know it. That's my point.
Well, Zac Selmon was at OU for how many years?
They mentioned NFL model. They have. And
how soon does this get done?
Couple weeks minimum, probably, in my opinion. I may be wrong on that, Jay. Now, I agree with what Daniel says here, and I think I said this earlier, something to this extent, Jay. I think, let's say they bring Zac Selmon in. You think it is. So let's say they bring Selmon in. They need to change some of the roles for the AD, and I'd be fine with it. That's fine. Bring a guy like Selmon in. Give him, but you don't want him maybe doing all the fundraising. You got a different guy to do that.
I guess let me say where I'm at on this Nagy stuff. You have said yourself that Jim Nagy, this hire, is so great for OU because he's the GM. He's going to have full autonomy on the football program, correct?
Yeah.
And the AD won't, correct? Because Jim Nagy is going to have full say on what football program as far as roster and all that, NIL, correct?
Correct.
So the AD has – why does Jim Nagy care about OU softball, OU basketball, OU women's basketball?
Why does he care? Jay, more money for the university.
He have a say in the hire. That's what you said.
More money for the university. He all for it.
He's all for it, but I just don't understand the point of like he knows who's going to help him hire the guy. I don't understand that. What
about Daniel's point on the AD's just in charge of the other sports? Nagy's in charge of football.
Well, I thought that's what you wanted.
I wouldn't be against it. And Chuck saying I'm wrong on timetable. It very well could be shorter than that, yeah. Or are you saying longer than that, Chuck?
Hey, Chester, let me say this. Tell me what days you're off. If you give me a time, I'll try to set up on one of those nights for you, man, because I know you really want this.
Now, speaking of John Hoover, Ron Wood said John Hoover commented today that Randall Stevenson's a multi-millionaire. He thinks he will get someone in there that can raise a lot of money. So.
And maybe so, Joe. Sunday, Monday. Okay.
Hey, don't put words in my mouth, Greg. God, I never said he's running the university.
I don't think this is a force out. Who would be forcing him out?
Yeah, it's not a force out. And Greg, God, you have a really tough time putting words in people's mouths. It's pretty weak. Join the. I was on all night tonight giving my take and never mentioned that one. So nice try, buddy. Now I will say what you said, but I won't say it on here. It's not an NBA live. So yeah, hey.
Wait. You're still talking about NBA?
No, I'm not.
Please don't tell me it was going to be a J-Dub comment.
I don't know if OU does have any billionaire donors, Jay. Do you know? I wouldn't know that.
I wouldn't.
I don't know any billionaires at all. So
loves, but I don't know if they donate. Eric and Chester for co-ADs. There you go. Hey man,
all right, guys.
NIL might be forcing him out.
That's probably the best thing. It's an outside force. It's not an internal force. It's an external force forcing him out. Wouldn't be surprised on that. And we'll see tomorrow. 9:00 tomorrow. That's when the presser is. And we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow night as well. Thanks to Chief T-Bird for the $9.99 super tonight. Appreciate it so much. Also, thanks to all that have been commenting tonight. Appreciate it. Check out the Fan Stop before you get off here. As you get off here, the fanstop.com. Sign up for the Show of the Month Club. Hit the like. before you leave, and we will see you all tomorrow night. Have a terrific Tuesday, Sooner Nation.